This is good.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I am so absolutely so excited this afternoon. I am so excited. I get a chance to interview the one and only Dr. Janet Holiday. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your time. So we are excited today, and we are here to talk about leadership in the realm of our new book, Dr. Janet Holloway's brand new book, which she was just released. It's called Wrapping Paper: Leadership Gifts to Share with Novice and Emerging, not emerging, but aspiring leaders. And I am so thrilled because I've gotten a chance to read most of this book. And congratulations, Dr. Holiday. This is really a remarkable book. This is. So you should be really, really proud of yourself for doing this. You should be proud of yourself for doing this. So the first thing I want to just read a little bit about of your bio, not too much, and then I'm going to ask you to share what you want to share about your journey, your leadership journey, yourself to our Facebook viewers. About the author. As a take action life and leadership coach, Dr. Janet Holiday, she's a registered nurse. She can help you design and manifest a career that's in harmony with your soul purpose. Janet is an aspiring speaker. You are a real speaker, girl. You're not an aspiring. You're a passionate educator, a highly sought after transformational coach. Her passion is teaching clients to unlock their true potential, achieving courageous success, and live a life that they love. As a certified dream builder coach with the Life Mastery Institute and a certified leadership coach with the John Maxwell team, Dr. Janet specializes in helping healthcare professionals and women across the globe build their dreams, accelerate their results, and create richer and more fulfilling lives. For over 25 years, Janet has studied and implemented transformational success principles. And as a sought after speaker, trainer, and coach, her workshops and coaching programs help people break through limitations and achieve greater results than they have known before. I told you guys that she was a big deal. So I am going to stop here because there's so much about this woman that I could say, so much about this author, this coach, this consultant, you name it. And she's going to be blessing us with a lot more about herself. But tonight I'm excited because I have the privilege to just talk with you about leadership. And I want to learn from as much as I can from you in the realm of leadership as well. Even though this book talks about aspiring leaders, but when I read this book, I said, as a seasoned leader, I can gain a lot from this book. So with that said, I want to ask you, Janet, welcome again and thank you for your time. Can you summarize your leadership journey? How did you begin? And you are now a coach, a consultant, an author. Tell us about your journey moving through the realm. Go ahead.
My journey it had many turns. It wasn't just an easy, smooth ride at all, but it was a very informative and educational experience. Lots of Band-Aids, lots of glass ceilings. And with each disappointment, I was still encouraged to continue. I had some tremendous mentors though, and I had some great supervisors. So my journey was one that it started by watching and observing other leaders and thinking, I want to sit at the table. Yes. I want to be a part of change. I want to do this. And I took one step at a time.
Wow.
One step at a time and applied for jobs and kept hearing, you're not qualified. Kept hearing, maybe in 2 years. So I was applying and then the opportunity presented itself in a different way. I was asked to be a magnet coordinator, where you're recognized as being a #1 hospital. And I learned a lot. And that actually was a gift. It prepared me for my journey into leadership. It taught me. So that was the pivotal point for me right there.
That's amazing, because I looked at your bio and I saw that you're a certified dream builder coach, you're a John Maxwell team member, you're a nurse, you're a board certified nurse executive, you're a consultant. You've actually wrote another book, right? 20 strategies to increase self-esteem. That
Yes.
is great. And you also have a doctor of philosophy in divinity. Gosh, this woman is so qualified. So listen, your book, Wrapping Paper. When I read this book, before I started reading it, I wanted to understand wrapping paper. Why did you name this book Wrapping Paper? I know it's all about the gift of leadership, because when you look at the content of the book, you have gift of wings, gifts of solid ground, gift of diversity. Oh my God, this is rich, guys. Gift of strength, gift of being a boss, gift of respect, gift of self-leadership, gift of thinking, gift of words. Ooh, gosh. Gift of life, gift of delegation. These are a lot of gifts here that you want to sow in the lives of these aspiring leaders. So why wrapping paper, and how do you merge wrapping paper with these gifts that you want to share with aspiring leaders? Talk to me about
Well,
that.
it started when, as I was traveling, I was an interim director of nursing. I was traveling to many different buildings. And people would just say, can we just sit in your office and just talk to us? And I was like, okay, we can talk. And then I noticed it was happening not just in one building, but several buildings. And then they would say things like, we love your stories. You leave us with so much more knowledge. Can you give us some more gifts? They start, you give us some more gifts. And I was like, okay. And then when the book was planted in my heart, one day I was driving and I heard wrapping paper. I heard wrapping paper and I said, okay, I'm going to stick with wrapping paper no matter what. That will be the title of this book. So when they said that, I just kept noticing things along my journey where sometimes you give a person a gift and they don't accept it. Sometimes you give a person a gift and they take it and they grow and thrive with it. So I just started paying attention to the people around me and the questions they were asking. And that's how the title came up, Wrapping Paper. And then so it was for my colleagues in an inner voice, that divine voice, that precious voice.
That's so awesome. That is so awesome. And it makes sense, because if you think about it, leadership is really a gift. Yes. And we have that gift wrapped up on the inside of us. And when we begin to teach others and inspire others and unleashing the gift of our leadership, we have to unwrap what we have to give it to the world. And I really, really love that. That makes so much sense. And when you talk about gifts, I was reading, when I saw the gift of NBA, I'm like, what is NBA? The gift of NBA. And then I started reading, and I found out that the NBA means National Bounce Back Ability. Is that talking about the resilience of a leader? Talk to me about that.
Yes, it's about resilience. It's about the ability to, when you're knocked off track, or when something happens that throws you off, is keeping your focus. It's okay to go on to cry sometimes. It's okay to get upset. It's okay. But the ability to bounce back is what makes a team strong, what makes a leader strong.
Yes.
So it's resilience. Yes.
And that is good for you to share and to inspire new leaders, emerging leaders, aspiring leaders, because leadership is not just cute and sexy as people think. Leadership is something that you have to plan for it on a day-to-day basis. You have to be intentional about everything. I remember when I was a new leader and I didn't even know what I was doing. I would have loved to get a book like this as a brand new leader, because this would really, really teach me a lot. I remember as a new leader, I made so many mistakes. One of my staff reported me to my senior vice president, and I couldn't even defend myself then, because I'm like, I didn't know how to lead. They just kind of throw me into leadership without any training, because I was a good bedside nurse. They just threw me into that position. Then I went to my boss later on and I said, well, I'm thrown into this position. I didn't even apply for it. They just kind of promoted me into leadership. And I said to her, what's my job description? Because I wanted to be good. I wanted to impress them and impress leadership and my staff. And she pulled out a little 1-by-1 piece of paper and she wrote something on it and she passed it to me right in her office when she was presented the promotion to me. And she said, you want to know what's your job description? Here's your job description. And when I opened that piece of paper, it says, Eva Francis, your job description is everything. I was a brand new leader. And she said, your job, meaning nothing specific, everything. And from that day until today in my leadership journey, I always embrace that in leadership. Leadership is everything. You know, the great John C. Maxwell said, leadership, everything rises and falls with leadership. So leadership is everything. You have to literally stand out. You have to be resilient. And when I read your book, I said, my God, where was this book when I was messing up as a new leader? So listen, if you're out there and listening today, make sure you get this book before we go any further. Go on Amazon.com, just type in her name and the book title, and you will get this book. Dr. Janet Holliday, Wrapping Paper, Leadership Gifts to Share with Novice and Aspiring Leaders. So please go on Amazon and get that book. Whether you're a new leader or you're a seasoned leader, it doesn't matter if you're leading your home, because we all are leaders. It doesn't matter if you lead in the church. We all are leaders, because self-leadership is the biggest leadership. We have to lead ourselves before we can lead others. And a lot of people think because they are not leading an organization, because they don't have people reporting to them, they think they're not leaders. But if you're home and if you're leading your kids, if you're leading a pet, you are indeed a leader. We all are different leaders with different leadership skills. We lead in different ways, but please just see yourself as a leader and begin to develop that gift that you have on the inside of you, and read about these gifts. And I'm telling you that you'll never be the same, because this book, it is, as I said before, it's remarkable. And I've learned so much from reading this book. I want to ask you this, Dr. Janet. When your reader, we are asking them to go online and get this book, what do you hope for them to achieve by reading this book? A brand new leader just get promotion. She don't know what she's doing, just like I did not know what I was doing. What do you expect for them to achieve from this book?
Well, you know, initially I was thinking, I just want the readers to find what they want when they want it. I want it to be a resource for them, not once, but over and over again. I want them to see the nuggets that I've learned from being on the John Maxwell team, from understanding the importance of adding value to other people, to understand that they're only as effective as they invest in their own personal growth. And that, you know, you don't have to be perfect, but you have to be resourceful. So I wanted them to have a tool, the first tool to help them understand what they're doing. I could, you know, so many times I would hear people say, I can't do this. I don't have what it takes. Just negative, 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 negative.
Yes.
Just, and other people listening to them and saying, well, when is your last day? Instead of, let's get you a coach.
Yes.
Let's get a plan together to guide you on your journey. You can do this, and you shouldn't do it by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I want them just to have what they need, but more, I want them to have what they want. I want them to find the answers to their questions when they want those answers.
Yes.
When they're working and they're looking, what do I do in this moment? So it's a lot of stories in here that, you know, it's not your typical book. You can't go to chapter 2, page 10 and read about how to do X, Y, Z.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is why I like the part you talk about the gift of words, because, you know, of course, our words are so powerful. As it's not about only what we think, or it's not about only what we say, really, but is what we are telling ourselves within our mind. We are thinking to ourselves, and we have to be very, very careful. Another thing I love about these, because I'm a woman of quotes, I love quotes. I definitely love to learn a lot of leadership quotes and faith quotes and biblical verses. I love that. And you share some really, really powerful quotes here. You said in chapter 1, you said, get off the ground and soar like an eagle. The choice is yours. So spread your wings and fly. This is, listen, guys, this is rich nugget here. Get off the ground and soar. Every single leader, you have to, you really as a leader, you definitely have to get off the ground. You have to soar. You have to rise and shine. You have to rise up and lead. The choice is yours. So spread your wings and fly. You know, it is not always so easy to spread your wings and fly. You get into leadership and sometimes you find yourself just so stagnant and you feel, what's my next step? What do I do next? Or what's the next level that I need to go? And what do I need to go to build myself, to grow myself? What would you say to a new leader as far as in relationship to what's in the book?
I would say to breathe.
Breathe.
Breathe, keep a clear mind, and know that you have support. When you're frustrated, when you're like, what do I need to do? When you take that breath and you get focused, you'll be able to write a plan out. And then you have someone with experience to help you along the way. At least the first several years, you're going to need some guidance, and then you need some periodic checkpoints. Just like when I first started writing this book, something that was, as far as challenge for me, it was getting started. But once I got started and had, you know, Dr. Sharon was phenomenal. She is an awesome book coach, and she really helped me by asking me the right questions at the right time.
I hope she's hearing that because she's on the line right now.
Wonderful. Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Dr. Sharon. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're so welcome. This is a perfect time just to say publicly how much I appreciated your coaching me through completing this book. You know, there a lot happened with it, but you were always there asking the right questions.
Yeah.
Lead me to the next step. And that's important to have that person. Thank you.
Wow, you said something so profound, and I think I need for you to repeat that so people can hear that. You said it is so important to get started. How many of us want to write a book, and we have been sitting on those words and that book language for so long, and we have been sitting down and waiting to start, but what's the first thing when you're waiting to start? How do you get started when it comes to writing a book? Because you can have all the information in your head on scrap paper everywhere. How do you start?
I just, when I made the decision, when I knew I was serious about it, I got me a journal. And I would just, once I decided, I didn't even know so much how I wanted to frame the book. I just didn't get my thoughts and words on paper. And then once I got started, before I got too far along, the rest came.
The
rest came, you know, and then also having a coach.
Makes a difference.
Asking the right questions. How will your book be formatted? Is there anything going to be included at the end? I was like, this is really good.
Yes.
And I was able, you know, I was able to answer the questions. I had done my homework, but it was just, you have to have a desire to do it. It's not something you just do, at least for me, it wasn't anything I could just do for fun. No. But once I started and was focused, I found myself enjoying it.
Awesome. And if you're out there and you're looking for a book coach, Dr. Sharon Addison, she's a book coach, she's a business strategist. She has so much experience in that area of coaching, in writing books. So please check her out on social media and check her out. She will help you to formulate your book and put it all together. You know, when I wrote my first book, what I had to do, I had to be intentional about writing every single day. It doesn't matter if it's two sentences. I had to be intentional in order for me to finish. So writing a book is not and it's once you make the decision, it can become a little easier, but you have to really be intentional about it and say, listen, I am going to get everything that's in my head on those blank pages, because I have something to share. I have something to give. All that experience that so many of us out there, nurses, healthcare professionals, non-healthcare professionals, we have so much on the inside of us that been deposited over us over the years from different people, from coaches, from our leaders, from nurses, from community leaders, from everyone. And we have it there. And many times we want to get started, but we just don't know what to do. I want to say to you, just start writing. Just start writing. Just open up the page and just start writing. It's like journaling. Just start writing, because once you get into it and then you see the fruit of your labor, especially when you're almost done. I look at some of the things that in this book. Look at what she said about gift of diversity. I am unapologetically, authentically me. Oh my God. I am unapologetically, authentically me. In order for us to be our best, I'm not talking about halfway now. I'm not talking about pull back and just give half of yourself to the world. In order for us to give our true self to the world, all of ourselves to the world, we literally have to say, listen, guys, I raise my hand. I am unapologetically and authentically me. You just have to be yourself, because, you know, the world needs all of us. You know, some people are so reserved in their thinking. Some people are out there and just love to just to give and so on and so forth. But each and every one of us, we are so important. And I want you to know that it doesn't matter what your personality is, your leadership style is. If you're out there and want to write a book, get ready. Don't hold back. Just start writing. Get yourself a coach. Just start writing. Another part I like, and I want to ask you to elaborate on it a little bit for me, was when I read about, and it's a very simple quote, but I want you to elaborate on it as it relates to healthcare and leadership. Pick your battles. Pick your battles wisely and select your friends carefully. What do you mean by picking your battles in healthcare? What do you mean by picking your battles in leadership? Talk to me about that.
Well, that's a good question. We all that are in leadership realize that there are times when, as my dad would say, you have to know when to hold and when to fold. And basically, everything doesn't have to be a struggle. It's seeing people where they are and guiding them on the path. An example would be, as a leader, you hold people accountable.
Yes.
Give them instructions, you want them to do something, but you don't have to do it with an iron fist. Because everything doesn't have to be a battle. It's explain to them what you expect, and with kindness, and grooming them for growth. I just think that to pick your battles wisely, if you don't, you get to the end of the day, every day you're gonna be exhausted. You can't conquer the whole world in a day. There's other people on your team, which goes to the chapter on delegation. But if you're not passing the torch to other people and trying to do everything yourself,
yes,
you're going to get frustrated. You're going to be short-tempered. It's going to be a lot of battles, and you're going to have less friends.
Yes, definitely. You will lose friends and your relationships will go down the hill.
Yes.
You don't want that, right?
You don't want that. You walk into a group of people and everyone starts leaving. You have too many battles. There's battles going on.
And I'm serious. That is so true. I know what you're talking about, you know. So when you were writing the book, Dr. Janet Holiday, when you were writing the book, did you experience what they call this writer's block, or you didn't experience that? Did you experience any kind of?
I did. I did, especially when I started a new job. And in that job, I was helping with opening a new assisted living in our community. So that took a lot of time and energy. Loved it, learned a lot, beautiful people. I could hug all the residents tonight. It was awesome. So during that time period, when I sat down to write my thoughts, and I was blocked. I had a blockage. So I had to be intentional. I like that. I had to be intentional about finding and scheduling time to focus. And it usually had to be on the weekends versus all day during that crunch time,
Yeah.
I would find a quiet corner. And if I couldn't, if my thoughts weren't coming together right away, I learned the beauty of meditation. I love candles.
Mm.
So I had to make sure I had to relax first and just give myself time to have internal calmness.
Put yourself in the mood for it, right?
Yes. And then just sometimes I would just, I doodle a lot. So I would have my paper and I would just draw pictures.
Mm.
All of a sudden a thought, and then it'd be a thought, and then I would just start writing.
I cannot begin to tell you how much I enjoy the quotes that you have here. You have another one, and I enjoy the ones from you yourself, the ones you create. Your unforgiveness hurts you. Who? How many people go through unforgiveness as even as a leader? You can be so I mean, you can have so much going on in your leadership life that even your team members you don't forgive. Your team members can even hurt you. And when I'm talking about hurt, I'm not talking about physical hurt. The things that they do, the things that they say, the people you lead, the people that you are in charge of. And you can hold the spirit of unforgiveness. Listen, guys, if you're a leader out there, this chapter is powerful.
Yes.
The gift of forgiveness is rich. And I haven't read a leadership book that talked too much about unforgiveness and forgiveness, but I want to highlight forgiveness a little bit more in this book, because as a leader, I have had the opportunity as a leader not to forgive. I have had the opportunity to, I should say, the opportunity to forgive in many different ways, because there are times that I've gone through some situations. I've gone through some rough spots in my leadership journey, especially when I was a brand new leader. I was struggling and I went through some things. And I was leading a group of staff, and at the end of the day, they weren't even, it's like I couldn't even get through to them, because these are staff that some of them trained me, and I turned around and was in charge of them. And I emerged from the bedside, an immigrant nurse, and became their boss, became their manager. So it was not well accepted then. But it was so tough that some days I go home and I said, I don't even want to be here, because some of these people, I don't even know, God, if I even like them, the way they're acting. But guess what? I had to step back and realize that in order for me to grow, and I took a lot of leadership classes over the years, and my eyes are open to lead. That's why I love leadership so much. My eyes are open to leadership so much, because I've seen leaders struggle with this unforgiveness. And if you don't release things and let go of things and forgive, you're going to walk in pain, literal pain, physical pain, mental pain every single day in your leadership journey. So guys, get this book. Get the book from Dr. Janet Holliday, Wrapping Paper, Leadership Gifts to Share with the Novice and Aspiring Leaders. Read the book. But if you're struggling with unforgiveness, read chapter 8. She said, your unforgiveness will hurt you. Nothing is worse than to be standing all alone with empty hands on the edge of a storm with a desire to move forward, but frozen. You are hindered by the inability to forgive yourself and others. And I'm glad you mentioned that. Forgive yourself first. Forgive yourself first for not being a good leader. Forgive yourself first for not preparing yourself to be a leader. Forgive yourself first for not reading as a leader. Not John Maxwell, but I think it was Miles Monroe who said, as a leader, we are always in university. We have to be in leadership university. And some of us receive or accept the position of a leader, but we don't seek to grow ourselves and advance ourselves. Right. We just stay stagnant. You have to read. You have to always in leadership university. You have to listen to your team members. You have to listen to your staff members, because sometimes you think you know more than them, but you can glean so much from them. You can get so many ideas from some of these brand new leaders, staff members that are around you, especially in healthcare. Most of my leadership journey has been in healthcare. So that can happen easily. So I'm saying this to you that guys, if you're out there and if you have the gift of, if you do not possess the gift of forgiveness, purchase the book, read chapter 8. And the last thing I want to ask you, Janet, is this, because I know that you said that the biggest challenge was to get started. After you get started, what was it like, and how did you feel when you realized that you are literally at the end of the journey? You're almost done. You just have the last chapter. What kind of feeling did you get then?
Oh my goodness. It was, wow. I can feel it now. It was just, it wasn't, I won't say it was a feeling of relief, but it was a feeling of, oh my goodness, I'm here.
You're done. Can you hear me? Ooh.
Oh my goodness. You know, and I had my little celebration. And then I said, okay, what's next? I had to call Eva and see what's next.
Yes.
But it was, you know, it was rewarding. It was
Yes,
rewarding because, you know, I remember one time I thought, man, this is like giving birth to my third child.
Wow. Wow. Wow, that's something.
And then to have said that and to get to the end, I was like, oh man, that wasn't so bad. I just had to be intentional. Wow. It was really good though.
Well, I'm sure that you must feel so you know, it's just a sense of accomplishment, really, because this book has so much. I mean, the nuggets in this book really, nuggets are extraordinary. And I want to read this book again. I've almost finished it. I'm going to read it again, because I find that this book is like a study manual to leadership. If you're a leader out there and you want to grow in your leadership, read this book, and just don't read it so fast. Sit down with your pen and paper. I love to take notes when I'm reading books. If I'm reading a book, it doesn't matter if it's a leadership book or whatever book it is, I sit down sometimes with my pen and paper and I take notes. I mark up the book, I take notes. That's how I learn. And if you want to grow in your leadership, if you want to take your leadership journey to the next level, and embrace the gift of leadership that God has placed on the inside of you. Ladies and gentlemen out there, I'm telling you this, whether you're listening now or you're going to be watching this later on, I want to tell you that you have to advance yourself by seek great books. And this is a good book. This is a good book to read as a new leader or a seasoned leader. Step up, grow yourself, advance yourself, and unleash that potential and that gift that's on the inside of you. Each and every one of us are leaders in our own right. And this evening we have Janet Holiday she just share our journey. She just talk about her book. She just give us a lot of tips and a lot of nuggets and pearls to live by and to grow our leaderships and to leadership skills and to help us to move to the next level. I'm saying to you, get this book. Go on Amazon. And if you forget our name, just type in the name of the book. Wrapping Paper, Leadership Gifts to Share with Novice and Aspiring Leaders. And it's not just for aspiring leaders. This book is for all of us. All of us. Dr. Janet Holiday, this was fun. I thank you so much for your time. And I want to ask you, what final word would you like to share with the audience about your book? Just say whatever you want to share about your book.
Thank you, Eva. I want to say that God gave me this book. He gave me the desire to share this knowledge with other people who I've seen struggling. Yes. This book came to fruition out of actual experience and walking side by side with individuals who needed more, who were asking for guidance. If any of them were to be sitting here today, I would tell them thank you. Thank you for allowing me to walk with you.
Wow.
And, I've met some powerful, beautiful nurses and leaders on this journey. And they are throughout this book, not by name, but they'll know by their hearts.
Wow.
To read the words coming from their hearts. I'm just so grateful right now. I'm so grateful to have something to share.
To give out of that.
And give to others. there, I just met someone recently and she was just frustrated.
Mhm.
And I said, I'm working on a book. So that this is the beginning of something else. But I'm just, I just want to, I'm just grateful. I'm just thankful. I'm excited because I have two daughters. One is, two different career fields, and I want something for my grands and something to give for them to see. And I'm just excited about that.
All right. The gift of giving back what's on the inside of you, what you have learned over the years, what God has deposited in your
Yes,
life over the years.
yes.
It's so rich because we can't just keep getting fat with knowledge, getting fat and just ingesting and getting all this training and learning
Holding
and
on to it.
coaching, and you don't give back. The gift of giving back is so good. So I'm glad that you said that. And I want to encourage you, if you're out there and listening, just remember that in order for you to receive, you have to think about giving back. Because as Dr. Janet says, giving back, share our knowledge with the world, share our knowledge with the masses. And I know that part 2 may be coming up, or another one may be coming, because when I started reading this, I said, I'm sure there's more coming. And you have like the call to action in one chapter here. You have a call to action for chapter 12 is the gift of be all. The more you do, the more you may do. The more you do, the more you may do. The gift of giving all. And you said as a call to action, what is under your mask? What do you have under that mask that needs to be shared, or for the world to see? What is under the mask? And you also said, what is causing your stress? As a leader, sometimes we get stressed out. As a leader, sometimes we don't even feel as if we are leading ourselves correctly. But I want us to start thinking, what is causing our stress as leaders? Whether you're a ministerial leader, whether you're a church leader, you're an organizational leader, you're a community leader, you're a family leader, whatever leadership role that you have. Again, each and every one of us, you out there, we all have a leadership role to play. So wherever you're leading, if you're leading yourself, your family, in ministry, just remember that stress will come, but you have to be intentional about managing those stress. And you also have, what is your stress management and or reduction plan? We have to find a way to manage. I mean, that's a topic by itself, but you have to find ways to manage your stress. Because when we are too stressed out, we cannot be all that God wants us to be. And Janet says in her book, the gift of be all. Let's try to make it our life's mission to be all that God has called us to do.
Yes.
Because at the end of it all, we will feel so good about ourselves that we have become everything that God has called us to do. Dr. Janet Holliday, this was fun. I enjoyed so much. I cannot wait to talk with you again about this book, because I know that there's a lot more that we could share from this book. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, get the book. Go to Amazon and type in Wrapping Paper by Dr. Janet Holliday. Get the book. Do you have any books to give away today to anyone? Like give away, if you'd like to, were you planning on giving away a book to any of our listening audience? Or if you're there, maybe you could just send me a text, and either Janet will give you a book, or I'll purchase and give you a book, whatever.
There's Cindy and Sharon.
Yes. So
I appreciate them listening in.
All right. So I will make sure that they get a book. I guess we can get book from, I can purchase them, or you can send it whatever way, because I'd love to bless somebody with this book. Wrapping Paper is a book designed for aspiring leaders. It offers examples of everyday situation to navigate the novice aspiring leader on his or her way or her journey. This resource extends beyond the traditional leadership topics to sit back, relax. Let's unwrap the gift of leadership. And once again, guys, it's not for healthcare leaders only. This is a leadership book for each and every one of us, not just for nurses, not just for healthcare leaders. It doesn't matter what industry you lead, education, media, wherever you lead, this is a book for you. Grab this book from Amazon. Thank you all. Thank you, Dr. Janet Holiday. And once again, congratulations. And I want to ask the audience first before I go, because I didn't remember this. Any questions from any of you? Let me look in the chat. Sharon, Janet, I'm going to share this live on, it's live on some groups right now, and I'm going to make sure it's shared on some of our personal page and so on and so forth. But is there any question from the audience? If not, I'll say, have a great evening, everyone. And coming up soon will be, I have another author that I'm going to be interviewing very soon. And I want to say, have a great evening, everyone. And thank you. Here's a question. Okay, here's a question. How important is personal development for leaders? Take it away, Dr. Janet. You answer that question.
I'm going to go back to her.
How important is personal development for leaders? I love that question. That's a great question.
Yes. Sharon, if I had to say on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say it'd be a 12, because personal development is key. And I'm glad you asked that question, because not too long ago, I had a client that wanted to be coached, wanted leadership coaching. But after discussing several details, it was identified, the person said, you know what, Janet, let me do the personal development first. Let me make sure I have myself where I need to be. And I think that answers the question too, is so important, because self-leadership has to be in place before you can lead others. How you do one thing is how you do everything.
Everything, I love that.
That's a quote borrowed from Paul Martinelli.
Yes, Paul. So from Paul Martinelli too.
Yes, so just make sure, I think, and I'm glad you opened that door to share with people.
Are you there? Are you freeze?
And you feel lost, just make you have what you need. Make sure you have someone. Can you hear me now? You hear me okay now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay. Yes. Cindy wrote, I love what is under your mask.
Yeah.
I love what is under your mask. You know, that's deep, Cindy, because you have to take the mask off.
Yes.
To get to what's under the mask.
To be your best. Absolutely.
Your best, yes, because I've seen it in so many times where people, you don't see that real person because they're trying to be perfect.
Yep.
Once they take that mask off, it's a beautiful thing. You get the chance to meet the real person. You get a chance to see them, see who they really are. And that's what people that we're leading, they need to see who we really are. They need to see that we can apologize, that we can ask for forgiveness.
Yes, and we can make mistakes.
And we can make mistakes. It's not, yes.
Yes, so important, because you know what, Dr. Janet, we have to, people out there, we have to recognize that leaders are not perfect. And too many of us see leaders as this perfect being. They're trying to do the best they can. And many times leaders are struggling. And people see them, they think they're perfect. And that is why I always tell my staff or my team members, listen, you're supporting your team members, you're supporting your colleagues, support your leader. Yes. Give your leader a kudos every now and again. Give her a congratulation. Acknowledge your leader sometimes. Sometimes we don't even think that leaders need anything. You have team members and staff who pull from the leader. They will pull from the leader. They'll keep pulling from the leader. And that leader sometimes stand alone at the top. No one is there to support that leader. In this book, where it talks about the gift of being all that you can be, you'll see a lot of it about how to support leadership in the book. And I would say that support your leader. It doesn't matter if it's where the leader, if it's your pastor or is a community leader or is your coach or your mentor or because they have issues too. And sometimes the leaders don't have anywhere to turn. They don't have anyone to share because they don't want to make themselves vulnerable, because they think that if they share their weakness weaknesses to others, people will see them as a weak leader. And I've learned that over the years, that you have to be very authentic and you have to let people know that you are human. You can make mistakes,
And as a leader, it's so rewarding to have a team that they're there for you.
They're there for you. They have your back.
They have your back. And that's just words can't express what it means to walk into your office and like, oh wow, what's all this? Or to walk down the hall and see that people appreciate you and hear it.
Yes.
But you have to give it.
You have to give it. You have to earn it, really. You have to earn it.
You have to earn it. You have to earn it. If you give it,
yeah,
you're gonna earn it.
Because leadership is not just about a badge, walking with a cute badge on your clothes, or a sign on your office door with a lot of credentials and letters behind your name. It's more than that. You can be a leader with no credential. You can be a leader that people no one assigned it to be a leader, but you are automatically the leader.
Unspoken leader.
Be the unspoken leader. Be the leader that no one assigned.
Yes.
Be the leader that everyone wants to follow. Be the leader that everyone wants to listen to. As John Maxwell or Miles Monroe, one of them said, don't be a leader where you think that you are the boss and everyone should listen to you, or see people as your subordinate. Matter of fact, I don't even use that word, subordinate. No one is below you. People are not your subordinate. Your team members. Those are your team members. They are your colleagues. It just happened to be that you are leading them, but they are your colleagues. They are not your subordinates. So we should be careful of how we use those kind of words when it comes to our team members.
That's true. It's ancient words.
Ancient words, yes, ancient. They are your colleague. You get the best support from your team members and your staff when you roll up your sleeves and be a part of the team.
Yes.
I remember when I was a senior leader in the hospital, I was an executive in the hospital. And honestly, one of the things I've taught myself or remind myself, never to lose sight of the bedside as a nurse, because I'm a nurse first before I'm an executive. Never lose sight of that bedside. And I try never not to lose my nursing skills. So even though I may be rounding in a suit, I can stop in the emergency room and I can start an IV. And you can ask any of my team leader, Eva Francis, can start an IV. As an executive, I can start an IV. I can do this. Just like a staff, I can go and triage patients from the emergency room, because I said, I'm not going to work so hard for my skills. And because I'm promoted to be an executive, I'm not going to lose that skill. So get yourself, be a part of it and understand what your team members are going through. That's in the book too, by the way. A lot of these things are in the book. How to treat your team members and your staff.
Be a solution for them.
Be a solution for them. And in order for you to be a solution for them, you have to know what they're going through. You have to know their journey. You have to understand where they're going and the path that they're on. Yeah, because how can you be a solution if you don't understand what they're going through? Don't tell people to do things that you will never do yourself, because you cannot take someone to a path that you have never been.
Sure.
You have never been.
I'm excited of going to my hometown and taking the books with me also. So
yes. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing you again. I think you're going to be interviewed on a couple more channels. Dr. Sharon, maybe Addison will be interviewing him. I think Dr. Sharon Johnson want to interview you as well, and know that you're going to be sharing this book to the world. This book is going to go international, worldwide, because it's an easy read, and it's just practical and has in so many. And so, the nuggets are so rich. I can tell you that.
I have to thank my daughter. I have to thank my daughter also while I'm in this moment.
Yes.
She was instrumental. She was my cheerleader in the corner. And I really appreciate her being there and her ability. She was an awesome proofreader, and I appreciate her.
Yes, she is.
So just wanted to say thank you to Miss Ashley.
Thank you, Miss Ashley. All right. And I'm so proud that Brilliant Publishing did the job.
Yes, thank you.
Thank
I've
you.
had questions about that, so I need to share your name and information to people who are asking me who published the book, was publishing the book.
I can be found, you can go on my social media page, Eva M.
Okay.
Francis, Dr. Eva Francis. Just Google me, you find me anywhere on all the channels. So you'll find me around. And whenever you're ready, just check me out and we will work together. All righty. Well, thank you so much. And thank you so much for your time. And you have a great evening, everybody. Thank you guys for joining. God bless you all. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.